Good evening, YouTube. It is a Friday night. I'm here in Lower Manhattan, standing at the corner of South 7th Avenue, and I think West 11th, something like that. It's the street signs here are kind of confusing sometimes because corners like this one, as we look at the beautiful Freedom Tower in the distance, corners like this one have not one street, not two streets, but three streets, all cutting between them and going in slightly different directions. Can you see what I mean? It's more than a typical cross-shaped intersection. So sometimes when you are a tourist exploring the city, you might think, if you're following Google Maps or something, you might think you know the way. But then if you're just slightly off, like if your GPS is just 10 degrees to the left, you'll accidentally take the wrong street and then end up who knows where, because it just keeps going and going. But thankfully, especially in a part of the city like this, wherever you go is going to be interesting. And I'm going to try and prove that today just by walking without too much of a plan and showing you some of this beautiful city on a Friday night. And the first unexpected thing going on is I see a big crowd outside of this bar. I see there's something on TV. It's springtime, which means, I think it's basketball playoffs. Yesterday, the NHL, the Rangers were playing on TV. Tonight the crowds are out to cheer for, I'm gonna guess that's the New York Knicks. Yeah, I think I saw some Knicks jerseys around the city earlier today. But I'm not a huge basketball fan, so I cannot name all the teams for you. I'm pretty tall, so I routinely get asked if I play basketball. In fact, as we passed by a little basketball court, I was passing by, I don't think it was this one, but I was passing by a basketball court in New York the other day. And by the way, they're everywhere. I mean, you can really see how big a part of the culture in this city shooting hoops really is. I was just walking by. This black guy who was just standing there with his friend was like, "Hey man, you shoot hoops? You shoot hoops?" And I was just on my way to I was about to walk into the subway, and I was just like, not right now, which was my way of saying no. I'm tall, but I do not shoot hoops. I disappoint everyone I get on a basketball court with. But enough about my sporting shortcomings. Let's cross under some of the famous scaffolding of New York City. I recently watched a show called How To with John Wilson. If you know that show, you're a real one, because I think it's a criminally underrated show. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but that show kind of does really comical deep dives into some of the aspects of life in New York City. And I say comical because he's got a really funny sense of humor. It's filmed in a very peculiar way, but also it's factual, and he interviews a lot of people and kind of gets to the bottom of why there's so much scaffolding in New York City. And there's almost a conspiracy about it. There's a lot of depth to this question. It all goes back to one person who was Well, a pedestrian was unfortunately killed by something falling off of an old building. And after that, there was a bylaw that was passed that basically said all the old buildings have to be... I'll finish the story as we pass through this beautiful bar. The restaurants are packed, of course, Friday night. But yeah, it all goes back to one person whose unfortunate death changed the bylaw. And after that, the entire city of New York, they regulated that all the old buildings have to be checked for safety every 5 years or something. So most of the time when you see that scaffolding, they're not actually repairing anything. They're just doing some kind of safety checks, which blew my mind because when I walk under those, I always thought they were repairing stuff. But no, it's just kind of this regulatory thing that exists. And though it might seem like a small inconvenience to keep people safe, I invite you to count the number of scaffoldings we see on this walk. Especially if I take you toward Midtown Manhattan, where the high rises are, and you will see they really are everywhere. Anyway, enough about that. I'll give you another fun fact that I was overhearing today. I'm here on my own in New York City right now, and you know, one thing about that is if you're listening, you can pick up a lot of interesting conversations, overhear some funny things. And I was overhearing someone talk about how, okay, so especially in a trendy area like the West Village, there's a lot of restaurants that get really popular. What happens when a restaurant is popular? You have a long lineup, and it's almost impossible to get a table these days. And so, what the person was saying as they were standing outside this restaurant was, you know, you can actually pay people to hold your spot in line outside restaurants in Manhattan. Like, there's a whole service, there's a whole industry building around standing outside of restaurants for people who don't have the time but do have the money to stand in line. And that is one of the things about New York City. It is a extravagant, shall we say, place. It is. I've never seen this before. They're literally advertising their own service with like reviews outside of the building. Huh. That was funny though, because the one I showed you, I'm pretty sure it was only 4 stars. So yeah, I would imagine if they were advertising to random passerbys, they'd want the 5-star ones, but they went for the reviews that are like, yeah, you know, they're pretty good. Anyway, we're not far from Washington Square Park. I'll show you what the vibe looks like there tonight. Let's look at the famous archway as we enter into Washington Square Park. You might have seen this thing in movies or TV shows. I'm giving you a weird angle right now, but I don't even think my camera is capturing the scale properly. It's at least 100 feet tall. And as I back up a bit and you see some people in front of it, you'll get a proper perspective here. Beautiful piece of architecture. Reminiscent of France and some other European countries. And now every time of day or night in the park, you got something. Musicians, kids, old people, you know. And this guy is jamming out. Listen to this.
We're like 23 years old.
Give you a view of the statue with the fountain in the front. And I believe that red building is the Empire State Building poking through as well. What a scene that is, looking straight up Fifth Avenue. Now this is the center of the park. There are a few different sides to it. Someone offering a tarot card reading over there. And I don't think anyone will be there at this time of night. But during the day, you can see a lot of people playing chess. A lot of people on one side of the table waiting for someone to play chess against them. In that corner there. And I actually played a game yesterday. There was a guy who was... I asked him how it worked, in case you're ever curious. He basically said... He's like, yeah, you know, he's there raising money for autism research. And he had a donation bin. And he's like, but like, you can play for free too. You can play for a high five, or you can donate a couple dollars. Like, there was no pressure to pay to sit at the table. So that was a cool thing. In case anyone was into chess and wants to experience that on their own one day. It's a cool thing to do in the city. Also cool is just hanging out in this park. If I were not filming a video right now, I'd probably hang out here, listen to some music, take in the vibes. But for now, oh, good trick. For now, let's continue. Take a little walk down Fifth Ave. The night is young. Yeah, I guess this street here is also pretty quiet. The thing about Manhattan is it kind of has pockets, you know? It kind of has pockets where you are in one area with a concentration of nightlife or a concentration of attractions, and then there'll be a few quieter kind of like neighborhood places, more where people are sleeping and living. But again, they're not too quiet. Like, you can still see there's markets and places to visit on every corner. I gotta say, if you've never stepped into a New York City corner shop, you know, one of the Bodegas type places with they make you sandwiches, they make you smoothies, they make you quesadillas, they make you bagels. Like, I don't know if these are everywhere in New York City, or if I just got lucky to have a couple of good ones near where I'm staying, but oh my god. Like, many of these, maybe all of them in fact, I don't know, I was gonna say at least many of them are 24 hours.
That's all.
you know, at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, you can get a delicious, freshly made smoothie or sandwich. Listen, I live in Montreal, that's a big city, but at 4 in the morning, it's mostly McDonald's.
Do you always like this? Like the weeks around graduation?
There's a few things that are 24 hours, but they are very hard to find these days. I just took a peek at the television. Looks like the Knicks are losing tonight. So an unhappy night for New York basketball fans. But the thing about sports is if your team wins, you can have some drinks to celebrate. And if your team loses, you can have some drinks to wash away the pain. The outcome is kind of the same, isn't it? Check this place out. A little taste of Mexico here in Manhattan. Shout out to all the Mexicans and Mexican Americans. A huge part of the life here in the city. As you can see with those two flags up ahead too. Tortas, taquitos, tequila. A lot of tea is in Mexican food, that's for sure. Tortillas. What else? Tostadas. Now you can tell we're getting to a busier part of the city. Chinese restaurant on one corner. Flower shop market, interesting, on the other side. One of the iconic pizza by the slice spots, Little Italy's Pizza. Oh my god, should I guys, I'm not gonna buy anything now because I want to keep walking, but I'm just gonna give you a quick look at this place because ugh. That's it? Right. My friends, did you see those slices of pizza? I mean, I gotta say, the food scene here, it's the little things, you know. I was talking earlier about the restaurants that people pay people to line up outside. I'm sure those are great, but I haven't been to any of those because I'm not paying anyone and I'm not lining up myself. But the random spots, like even this food truck on the corner, I bet it will be delicious. It says Halal Kitchen. Got some Middle Eastern food.
I got a smartwatch for sale.
You go to a random
Smartwatch for sale. I'll give you a good price.
sorry, I'm just getting distracted here. I was trying to figure out which way I want to walk, but anyway, what I was saying is if you go to a random pizza place or a random corner shop, you're gonna have some good food. But yeah, I just did a 180 because I'm going to, and I don't know if you heard the guy behind me now was just like, I got a watch for sale, I got a watch for sale. All kinds of late night operations, both legal and illegal, happening in the big city. Speaking of illegal, I'm just gonna jaywalk as casually as I can. Anyway. Look at all those books for sale. Looks like they're just closing up, but still, I mean, it's almost 11 p.m. That is a late night book operation. Whole Foods across the street. Not sure where this is. It's just kind of a hip hop battle or something. What's going on here?
I told y'all I don't wear moon rings. Hey, yo, I want to hear that dude sing. Yo, you fuck what they feel, fuck what they felt. I look like a white guy, but I'm actually black below the belt. Size 13s, if you know what I mean. I'm all about the cookies and the cream. Fuck your teeth. Yo,
I said you look like you came out of Mr. Miyagi class. Only black and belt you have is from Mr. Miyagi's class.
Fuck you,
You look like you eat Mr. Miyagi's ass. Mr. Miyagi's ass. I mean, you already know not to just hit him with the bull.
They want to hate, but they They want to kick it with the go, but they can't karate kick with the grasshopper kick in the fucking tents. You can't even swim. I'm a lifeguard. What do I do?
Yo, say a black man can't swim is slightly racist.
It's obvious that I'm rapping soldiers, man. I'm right out to get me soldier. Hey, yo, I've been doing this since I was sleeping on my grandma's plastic sofa. When it wasn't plastic, it was just plastic sofa to keep it cleaner. But I was listening to Misdemeanor on the radio, playing NBA 2K. That was way too detailed. Okay, I'm out of the water now. I'm like the beach whale. I'm out of order like the chaos. That's something that I see, Will. You getting jiggy with it? Oh, shit, I see, Will. Hey, yo, I should ride like 3 wheels for each cycle I live. Then come back and forgive. But if I forgive, then was I really forgiven for the way that I was living? I'm falling. I can't get back up from how I'm slipping.
What was I saying at the start? You just walk around and you find things. I didn't know I'd find that when I turned around back to this park. I just thought it'd be cool to take a stroll this way. Yeah, those guys had some, you know, it was a nice nice flow, nice little back and forth between 4 or 5 rappers, I would say. I wonder if that's like a spot. I think this place is called Union Square. Maybe Friday night Union Square is the spot. Or maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. But I would encourage you guys, if you are someone like me who's visiting the city and you really want to get the feel for New York, just don't have too many destinations. Just walk around, see things. Now this, yeah, I did see this a couple of days ago when I was walking over here. This I find kind of ironic. I mean, maybe you can figure out what it is. Have you figured out yet? So it's a climate clock. It says 5 years. Oh, they changed it. But 5 years, some number of months, 12 hours, 38. Apparently there's exactly, like they have it down to the second, I guess, when I was gonna jokingly say the apocalypse. But to be a bit more serious, what I'm imagining they're saying is about the temperature raising, like beyond the point of no return. They're saying we have 5 years. I just find it ironic to see this in the middle of the capitalist mecca of Manhattan, right above a Best Buy at Nordstrom and Duane Reade. I mean, you know, instead of telling us to make changes, why don't you talk to these guys? I have a feeling they're creating a lot more single-use plastics than I am in my life. Anyway, I suppose to some degree we're all hypocrites. I remember there's a song by, speaking of hip hop, there's a hip hop group called Atmosphere. They're out of Minnesota. And there's a song lyric in one of their songs where they just go, you gotta let people be hypocrites. And I don't even remember the name of the song or anything. I just think of that line sometimes, you gotta let people be hypocrites, because yeah, I think it's kind of true. Like we all have our contradictions, we all have our flaws, and you know, if you like, as easy it is for me to point out, hey, big building in Manhattan, why, like, isn't it ironic that you're talking about climate change? If everyone says that and thinks that way all the time, then no one will stand up for anything. So you know what? I changed my mind. Good job, building. Respect, brother. I like how I'm fist bumping, as if the building could actually be watching this video right now. Leave a like if you are a building and you are watching this video. I've given a few shout outs to random places here, but if one of them deserves it more than any other, it's Trader Joe's. Great quality, healthy groceries here in Manhattan. At a great price. Did I mention that? I meant to say at a great price. That's the main thing about Trader Joe's. Like, if you're on a budget, it's probably the best grocery store you can find. Except maybe for the random. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm just making a video about Manhattan at night. Is it your fruit here?
Yeah.
I was just saying it's even cheaper than Trader Joe's.
I'm sorry.
Espanol? Oh, no.
From Turkey.
Oh, I say the price is better than Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
$1 is very good. What is your name?
My name is R.A.
R.A.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, R.A.
Nice to
man.
meet you, bro. You need the fruit?
Huh?
You need the fruit? I give you fruit.
Ah, thank you.
Really? You need which one?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh man, what's your favorite?
Maybe plum. Avocado.
A plum?
Yeah.
But I can pay you for the plum.
No pay. I need to give you a gift.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what a legend!
Yeah.
What a legend, my friend. What's the name of your shop here?
It's not my shop.
Oh, okay.
I'm just working.
You're just working.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, man. That's very nice of you.
You need the bag?
No, it's okay. Maybe I'll just eat it.
Okay, bro. How much this one?
The camera?
Yeah.
This camera is about, I don't remember because I'm from Canada. So we have different prices. But in Canada it's like $700.
I need to buy it like this. It's for car, you know?
For a car?
Yeah.
You want to film cars?
Yeah, for car, for tuning right now.
Okay. Yeah, this is 4K. You can see it. It's good at nighttime, you know?
What are we doing?
Like way better than phone. And you can just go like this, you know, like
So good.
it's called Osmo.
It's a HD. Yeah.
Osmo Action.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Here, brother, let me pay you. Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure? Oh man.
Really? No problem.
Thank you, my friend. You have a great night, huh?
Okay, be careful.
I will. What a legend. I mean, I wanted to pay him for this plum. Right here outside the Jen Korean barbecue house. Legend. You know, I was also going to point out there's a very famous pizza shop called Joe's Pizza, which is right there in the corner too. But I got so distracted by the generosity of this plum. Who says New Yorkers aren't nice, huh? Who says? Oh shit. Yo. Just as I was saying New Yorkers are nice, I almost got run over. Those guys were not stopping. Alright, let's walk. The nightlife is bumping. And the plums are waiting to be eaten. I should ask him for an apple, you know, the big apple. Anyway, enough about fruit. I'm getting so I'm getting so distracted here by my mystery plum. I think I'm gonna swing back to 5th Ave. Not to make this whole video about the plum guy, but I must say there is something about how people who are working humble jobs often seem to be the ones with the biggest hearts. And again, I just talked to that guy for 2 minutes. I don't know his whole life story. Just a fruit seller from Turkey. But how quick he was to say like, here, have some fruit, don't pay, don't pay. Yeah, a fancy restaurant I was talking about, where you have to pay someone to line up outside, you know, you gotta pay before you even get in the door sometimes. I have a feeling they're not giving me any free fruit. Not saying one place is better than the other, just something to think about as I pass through this endless cavern of scaffolding. Like literally endless, wow. And this way too. John Wilson would be impressed. Some loud music. Our walk continues. Vineyard Theater. A mural across the street. Maybe I should actually give you a close-up of this, because for people who are not too familiar with American culture, by which I mean some international people who are watching, this is actually quite a meaningful piece of artwork here with the names. I can only imagine of people who, and there you see Trayvon Martin. I can only imagine people who were killed by perhaps run-ins with police, perhaps racially motivated attacks, perhaps, well, again, I'm not an American, so I cannot give you the full context here, but I think it is important to have those names up there for people to see, for people to remember. And a quote by Toni Morrison, a Black American writer whose work I have read actually. I remember, I think in high school, reading a book called The Bluest Eye. Very powerful story that she wrote. Moving on to Scaffolding Cavern number 2. You can already tell, I'm sure, just how much the city has changed from where I started in the relatively low and walkable village to I was gonna say Midtown Manhattan. I'm only at 17th Street. Oh my god. I thought it was at like 25th or something. Okay, I'll walk a bit further and you'll see the city continue to change.
You will be.
But I'm gonna do my best for the next few minutes to not get distracted by every random thing I see. As hard as it might be. Hey, look, self-checkout. Nah, just kidding. Hey, look, a sewer system. Wow, this classy little place here. I really like how the big wooden doors just open up to the street. Boucherie. It says cuisine française traditionnelle, which of course translates as traditional French cuisine. Maybe that's why they have that nice open air style that you see in so much of Europe. But you know, I gotta say, it's you see that here in New York City as well. You know, like even this big outdoor seating area here in front of me. I'm gonna cut back to Fifth Ave. But yeah, even that big outdoor seating area. Quick side note, I promise to stop getting distracted, but this is actually a very important side note. And there is no stopping me getting distracted, by the way. It is impossible. Maybe I'll just call this video Rambling on the Streets of New York City. That could be a good title. Anyway, the outdoor dining, like the one we just passed, if I'm not mistaken, this was added during COVID times when bylaws it didn't allow people to eat inside. So they all built these big sheds outside. Right in front of me is a classic example, right? Not allowed to eat in here, allowed to eat out here. And
That's so crazy.
as I understand it, it was such a popular thing that people were just like, let's keep it. Let's keep it the dining on the streets. And they have. It's funny how sometimes it takes a tragedy or like some awful thing to get people to invent something. We're now at Broadway and East 19th. Start walking north down Broadway. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the airplane. No, that I might be. I was about to say something very dumb. I don't actually know if that's true, but I was gonna say the airplane was in large part invented because of World War I, because they wanted something to like drop the missiles with. But then I remembered, it's like, wait, wasn't it just the Wright brothers? Wasn't it like those two brothers and like crazy like people like that who were just like building things and flying them? Maybe the true story is that like aviation advanced a lot from like what the Wright brothers had to like good airplanes that can actually fly long distances, have more modern propeller systems. You know, maybe that part we can credit to the war. But even for me, I am really rambling right now. I don't actually know. And I regret bringing up this topic to begin with. So let me just show you some flashing lights to hypnotize you. Forget everything from the last 60 seconds. Your mind is now clear. So back to the streets of New York City. So we're about to enter into a place called Flatiron Public Plaza, where until a few days ago there was something interesting called the Portal. Wow, just listen to that subway, which of course you can hear through the grates down below. I'm not sure why they built it that way. I guess it just helps with heat dissipation or something. But anyway, the Portal, you might have heard of this. If you're checking New York City news recently, you will have. It was a really cool thing where they created a portal. They created a live streaming video 24 hours a day between one location in New York City, precisely here where I'm about to show you, and one street in Dublin, Ireland. And yeah, the concept was you would look into the video and you would see people on the other side and they would see you. You know, you couldn't see yourself, but you could see them. And this is it, where New York meets Dublin, spring to fall 2024. You see, it was supposed to be active. And I guess I should actually go look before I say it's all over, but I'm pretty sure it's over because, yeah, I saw a video, or no, I didn't see a video. I saw a news story that was saying that it was deactivated because of these two TikTokers in front of me. No, I'm just kidding. It was deactivated because I guess people are doing inappropriate things. This is hilarious. It actually says, Portal is asleep, back up soon. Well, that's cool. So they're planning to bring it back. I really thought it might have been just like removed from this part of the city. But I'll insert a little photo or two of when I was here during the daytime. It was full of people. You could see a couple people on the phone calling friends in the other city, and they'd be waving at each other, you know. Some people actually left roses. Rest in peace, Portal. Yeah. But when I was here, I did see, I didn't see anyone do anything too inappropriate, but I did see one guy stand at the back and like he had a pint glass and he had a can of Guinness and he poured it and he chugged it. So he was like chugging a Guinness for people in Dublin, and maybe someone in Dublin was chugging a Budweiser on the other side. I don't know. I don't know that part. But I heard, I mean, you know, someone could, you know, obviously show something inappropriate. It's a live webcam. You know how people get. It only takes one or two weirdos to ruin it for everyone. But I do hope that the weirdos can contain themselves and the portal can return, because my first reaction to seeing it was, oh, isn't this cool? Like, what a fun way to unite two different cities. It'd be cool if Montreal had a portal to another city. It'd be cool if everywhere had a portal. It'd be cool if you could physically jump through that portal, like some kind of futuristic video game where you just like arrive on the other side. But you know, this is version 1. We'll wait till like version 5 and see if that's possible.
Wait, with the BB gun unstamped.
And now I'm just going to show you some of this gorgeous architecture in front of me. You know what the portal looks like from this perspective? It actually looks like the eclipse. Remember when the moon was eclipsed? That's what it looked like. Just a little circle and black in the middle. That's the iconic Flatiron building. It's wearing a black sheet of construction material at the moment, but very iconic building down here. And in general, this area, which I think is just called Flatiron Plaza, or maybe this is Madison Square Park. I just saw there's a larger park, Madison Square Park. But yeah, really cool place to be to get views of the city. Though it looks like, and this is funny, it looks like, is that tower blocking the Empire State Building? Talk about a sad state of affairs for a once mighty tower who was once the tallest skyscraper in the world when it was built in, oh, I don't know, 1913, something around then, early in the 20th century. It is now, if I am correct, and that is the tower behind it, it is now blocked by a member of Billionaires Row, which is a series of very expensive condos here in Midtown Manhattan. There are some things money can't buy, but blocking the view of the Empire State Building, you can buy. It is not cheap, but you can buy it. Maybe this video is approaching its natural conclusion. Maybe like the portal, it is time for my camera to go offline and return again one day. Rest in peace, portal. You are gone, but not forgotten.